And we're live in today's first episode of Sage's Live Code Reviews.
Hello.
Okay, this is a new thing we're just trying out for the first time ever, so it may just as well go horribly wrong. Today we have our core team member, Sage Abdullah, who's going to show us live how he does code reviews. We also have myself, hi Thibaud, in attendance also on the core team, and Chiemezuo, one of our regular activity contributors, who's just coming out of a very successful Google Summer of Code projects. Sage, take it away. What are you going to show us today?
Yeah, so I actually haven't prepared that much for today's session because we've been busy with preparing for the upcoming 6.3 release, which should be coming out later today, hopefully. So yeah, we've recently just started work on the next release, which is 6.4, which means that's where our main branch is at. And yeah, we have quite a lot of PRs that are waiting for review, and we thought it would be a good idea to try to go through some of these PRs in the backlog live. And yeah, if anyone wants to join and just say hi and maybe ask questions and just see how we do stuff, yeah, hopefully this would be useful. Yeah, so I think I'd like to start with this PR. I think we announced that we'd like to go through some front-end focused PRs in this first session. And yeah, there's this one PR that's been open since the 25th of June that hasn't got a comment at all, which, sorry, that sometimes happen. But yeah, someone has reacted. Okay, Andy reacted with heart emoji. So I guess this is something that people want to see. And yeah, I'm pretty sure this is a nice improvement because I think apparently we have an issue right here where these submenus in the main menu cannot be closed on mobile. I don't think I've read through the whole issue, but yeah, I don't think it would be fun if I just read out the issue out loud here. So maybe I would try running my
Do you read
local.
through the whole issues always, or
Um,
just like...
I tried to, or like skim through it at least. But yeah, yeah. Sorry, I was working on some documentation updates, but we can move that for later. Okay, I'm gonna make sure I'm up to date with the latest upstream, and I'm going to just run my code. I don't use any fancy tools like UV yet. I'm still using the plain old virtual environment from like Python-m VNV. Yeah, I don't even use Docker. Well, yeah, at some point I did try to use it, but sometimes it's just not worth it. I have some, as you can see, I have some dirty files in my Git repo during my regular development that I have yet to clean out. But you know, as you can see, my development environment is not perfect at all. Like, yeah, it's just I still try to do things manually because I haven't found like a proper way to manage my workflow in a way that I don't forget how I set it up. Because yeah, sometimes too much magic can be it's not good if you try to change stuff and then you forgot how you set it up in the first place. So yeah, I'm not even using like fancy Git aliases, even though I might have. No, yeah.
Well, your
So
command prompt looks fancy enough, Sage.
oh
And
yeah.
hashtag love for the .hack file extension.
Let's see what it's actually. Okay, yeah, it's something I tend to suggest people when we test the dismissibles in Wagtail, because sometimes we need to clear the data and just, yeah, I keep it around for some reason. Yeah, the prompt I use, I think Starship RS. Yeah, it's simple, and I think it's one of the things that you can just set up once and forget about it. But yeah, let's get on with running my local dev environment. Yeah, even I still use like source env bin activate like manually instead of having some fancy thing that auto activates my virtual environment.
I have an alias. It's alias venv equals source venv bin activate, but I have it in a way that it works regardless of whether I call the environment venv or .venv, because from project to project. So
yeah, exactly, right? It's just sometimes
good enough.
One of the reasons why I like to just keep it as bare bones as possible is because I think in our development instructions we tend to stick to the built-in tools like the built-in VN from Python. And I just want to make sure that it still works without, like, if I use some fancy tools like UV, but we don't put that in our documentation, if our documentation is outdated and people try to follow it and it doesn't work, that's not good. Anyway, yes, so this is our lovely bakery demo. Yeah, let's try using the DevTools to open the mobile size. And where's the issue? Oh, submenus. Yeah, sorry. So submenus. Sorry, not this one. Oh, I guess that's the issue. Let's see. This. I close this. Oh yeah. Yeah, I cannot go back to the main menu, it seems, on the mobile screen. That is a legit issue. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna skim through the issue just real quick. So LP has confirmed it last year. Yeah, the only way to close the menu is to refresh the page. Oh. Okay, LP suggested a few ideas. Okay, actually, I want to see how it works on desktop. Oh, so you have, no, not that one. Is that the only, oh wait. Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So on desktop, you would click on the menu again to close the submenu. But since on mobile, it just shows you the submenu, yeah, you don't get the option to go back to the previous menu. Okay. Yeah, right. The first idea is to move it to the top right. But yeah, it may not work well for the Page Explorer variant, which is different, I think. Yeah. It's not like the standard submenu. Oops, sorry. Yeah, it's got its own component, I think. Okay, so there's that. And yeah, the reason why it may not work well is because the top right has this, yeah, breadcrumbs. Well, not breadcrumbs, just navigation for the page tree. Okay. The other one is move it to the bottom. Okay, right there. Fixed filter submenu item like settings. Oh yeah, for some of the menu items, we do have this footer at the bottom. So if we put the back button at the bottom, we want to make sure it doesn't conflict with, it doesn't cause any issues with this footer. Okay. Okay, so that's the ideas from LP. And what about the fix from, I don't know how you pronounce this person's name. Bojan? Bohan? Boyan? Who knows? But yeah, thank you for submitting this fix. Let's see how it works. Oh, sorry. I don't know what happens. Like, why does it?
Oh,
What? What's happening?
what's happening?
1 second. Let's try reloading the page.
Well, it
Okay.
works on my machine, Sage.
Okay. Well, it works on mine too now, after I reloaded the page. Okay. Honestly, I think this might make sense. Because, yeah, since on mobile currently, if you open a sub menu, it replaces the whole thing, right? Like, well, not replaces, I guess it's just, it covers, like the sub menu will cover the main menu. So with that logic, I think it makes sense for the close button to be like a stack of menu that you're currently on. So if you click this, instead of closing the whole menu, it should pop the stack from the navigation to the main menu. So if you theoretically have multiple levels of menus, which I think is technically possible, even though we don't encourage it, nor that we have examples of it. That means if you click this, you're going to go one step upwards to the parent, and so on. And once you're at the main menu, it will close the actual menu. What do you think, Thibaud?
His implementation dispatches the root path, though.
Oh, okay.
So I guess we could change it to dispatch the current path -1 level.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've never seen. I don't think I've ever seen a site with
Multiple levels.
submenus.
Right.
Yeah, it's a valid feature. Just not seen it ever tried, or I don't think requested either. But if someone did need it, I think we'd happily get that feature request and that pull request.
Right. But the overall idea of the fix, do you prefer this approach of just putting it for the close button being like popping items from the stack, or do you prefer LB's ideas?
Personally, I feel like if the pull request that we have in front of us at the moment is good, I'd probably give that priority over what I feel like might be the perfect solution anyway.
Right.
So, yeah, I think, and I don't see, sounds reasonable to me. I guess I want to check for a screen reader user, maybe, sorry, for a keyboard user, how that behaves. Make sure that the focus order of the elements is correct. That might be my main concern here.
Okay, good point. Okay, maybe we can try setting up a hack that would give you multiple levels of menus. But if it ends up taking too much time, I'll just skip it. 1 second. And put up my bakery demo. Okay. Yeah, sometimes I would put some temporary stuff for testing out PRs. Like the other day, we were testing custom listing buttons, and I haven't cleaned out my local code, but it doesn't matter. Okay, so I think
This is the scope of today's session. Open source maintainers work on 1,000 different things at the same time.
exactly.
This is why Git and branching is a useful tool in open source, even more so.
Yeah, but
And cherry picking and slashing and also just naming your files .hack. I do the same thing, Sage, no judgment.
okay. Yeah, I think the thing with creating dedicated branches is that unless you have like a convention for the Git branch names, you would end up forgetting where you put it. Yeah.
How many branches do you have? Can you share that
Oh, wow.
information with our viewers?
Yes, I never actually clean up my branches, so that's a good point. Is there a way that it tells you how can you do? Is it count or
WC-L?
right?
Oh my god, no.
Sorry, I never clean out my local Git repo just in case I have things I want to retrieve from.
Wow.
Yeah.
I have 12 and I thought I had a lot. That's how he rolls. I'm gonna cut this into a short, Sage.
Okay, that's the Wagtail main repo, right? What about the bakery demo? Okay. Well, yeah, that's how I roll.
Wow.
Okay, let's try. How do I do this? What about we just create another uset group? And then instead of this, without this, this, does this work? Maybe not, but we'll see. Ooh, it doesn't crash. Oh. Oh. Oh.
Ooh.
Okay, I think I need to make it so that this one is false. Because this is the one in the second level. Okay. Ooh. Oh.
Wow, we've discovered a secret hidden feature. Nested submenus are officially supported as of Wagtail 6.3.
Well, I'm pretty sure I tried it at some point and fixed an issue with the Z index or something. Nested menu.
Do you have refined GitHub, Sage?
I do.
That's why you have a bugs tab.
Yeah, exactly. Main menu.
This right there is definitely maintainer life. Going through hundreds of past closed things, trying to figure out what term you might or might not have used.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, actually, I think we can also do it this way. Right. So let's look at this and try to blame it on someone. What's this? No. That's, I think, the most people I've seen in a single commit on Wagtail, but I'm not sure.
We're definitely having a party right there. It's so cool that GitHub supports this, having multiple
Yeah.
authors show up in the interface and get the credits for the commits.
Yeah, I love it. Oh, it even has a pop-up for it. Wow, they really think about all the possibilities. Like, what if you have 100 people and the UI will possibly display them all in a single line, so they put it in the pop-up.
That looks a lot like what we've had to do for our concurrent editing notification feature in Wagtail 6.3,
Yeah.
where we had to test what happens if, suddenly this page is so popular that 10 different people look at it at the same time.
And we don't even demo it. Like, I think the wait, where is it? Is it in guide?
Yes.
Right.
Oh, not 6.3, sorry, in 6.2.
I think this might be an old screenshot, because if you look at this, it's square.
You fixed that?
Pretty sure I did.
I thought I just never reported it and we kept it quiet.
Wait. Well, if it's still square, then that must be a regression, because I initially implemented it as like they rounded with the border. Oh no. Okay, that's something I'll try later. But anyway, maybe it's not in this file. Okay, so not commits, three. Where is submenu? This one, maybe. I don't even know why I need to look through this. It doesn't matter. Yeah, the point is, at one point, the nested menu didn't quite work because this second item would still be on this part. I think it's not a z-index issue. It's just the transform. Like, I think the way this works is with, like, to make the animation, it uses transform to move the element from the left to the right. And the old code would just assume it's transforming from this side, so it would just stack it on here instead of opening a second item. But yeah, at some point I fixed it, even though I didn't document it yet because I'm not sure if it would work with all the edge cases, and I wasn't sure if it's something that would make Ben, our designer, happy. So yeah, I kept it as like a hidden feature. Anyway, yeah, so now we got this setup that works with nested menus, and now let's check out this PR. Now, different people have different ways to check out PR branches, but for me personally, this is also something I'm guilty of, as with the Git branches, where I would also add the remote for the person who made the PR.
Really?
Yeah, because oftentimes we'd like to rebase the PR and like push to their branches. And if I don't add a remote, I'll have to specify the full URL. And well, I guess you could make some fancy aliases to just, if you just write the PR number, it would magically do something to push to the correct URL. But yeah, again,
I have been looking for this and I've never found it. But if someone out there has it, I
yeah,
want it.
so there's also the GitHub CLI,
Yes.
which, so I've been waiting for this thing to be solved from GitHub, but
Oh, that's the one. That's the one I
yeah,
need.
exactly. I know, right? Yeah, it's still not solved, I think. Um, yeah, someone just suggested a bunch of like different aliases to get this to work, but I would really love it if GitHub just adds this
Yeah.
feature. Yeah. Anyway, so in the meantime, I just do it the old-fashioned way with plain git commands, with adding remotes. Okay. So usually I would just reuse whatever remote I added last time and change the usernames. I could technically write like a shell command to just say the username and have it automatically spit out the right command, but again, I don't have time for that. So, oh, sorry. Another thing that I really don't understand is this copy button. I'm not sure at what point it would be useful because it has the username and then colon and then the actual branch name. So if you just copy this and then you do git fetch, well, the thing that you just copied, it doesn't really work because if I do this, it's going to give you this, which is not the actual branch. And I don't think I could do stream this. Yeah, so
Yeah, I've been there as well, and also don't know because I only ever want the branch name here, not the user
yes,
name.
exactly. I think this is something with how GitHub itself organizes repos in their infrastructure, where if you fork a repo, technically, even though it lives on your account, in GitHub's infrastructure, it's just a branch on a single repo. So yeah, technically, the main Wagtail branch and this fork branch lives in the same repo in GitHub's infrastructure, just with the branch. So I'm guessing this is how GitHub names the branches in their infrastructure, so that, like with the username prefix. That's also how they are able to make stuff like the DMCA takedowns. If you ever heard of it, like yeah, so GitHub has this repo for making DMCA takedowns, where the way they do it is just if your repo violates DMCA, they would just make it so that your repo is a branch of the DMCA repo, so that it erases, well, it replaces the contents with this DMCA takedown notice repo. Yeah. Anyway, that's a whole other discussion. So,
I'm
yes.
gonna make a whole series out of this stage. I'm gonna teach us all the tricks.
Yeah, I hope I'd be able to do that in the future. But okay, so I fetch the PR branch and I'll just switch to that. And because this is a front end PR, which means we'll have to rebuild the front end assets. So I'll just do npm start. It's building, it's going to take a while, but it's already much faster than like last year, I think, because I think yes. Yeah. This command used to take a long time, like more than a minute on my machine, because just because of how we set up Tailwind, and it just this one line fix. I think it sped up the build like by quite a good factor, from 60 seconds to just 20 seconds. It's still not fast enough, but I think that'll do for now because Wagtail just has a lot of front-end assets. Anyway, yeah, so let's go back to our bakery demo. And yes, let's try. Ooh, and I would assume if I go to this nested menu, if I click this button, it would just take me to the main menu, right? Yeah. So I think ideally we should make it so that it just takes you to the this second level instead of the very top level menu. And if we look at the code change, so we use, I think it's Redux to dispatch the action, which is set navigation path. I think the way we built the navigation mechanism is just each of these items, they have like a name or like identifier for each of the menu. And whenever you put something in, it's going to be adding like a dotted path throughout those identifiers of the menu. So we need to, we need to make it so that instead of setting the path to an empty string, which represents the top level menu, we want to make it so that it just removes the current path. And like that means it's popping one part of the full path, which is the parent menu. Okay, not sure if it's possible, but let's check out the code. That's in Page Explorer menu. Wait, what? No, submenu close button. Right. Okay, but I think I'd like to see how this thing works. Okay, so this is where we define the Redux actions. Yeah. Okay. So I think the problem is we need to find out a way to get the current state of the menu, like where the path currently is. And this component is used here. I'm not sure why it's complaining about some TypeScript stuff. Oh, I think I'm oh, okay. Not sure what happens there, but yeah, so I think we need to pass the current, right, the current active path. Also the depth. I'm not sure what navigation path and active path is. So let's do the old console.log. I'm not using any fancy like breakpoints or anything. I'm just gonna log the state, I guess. Or
I
also
vaguely recall that one of them would have been the path you're inside of the menu structure, and the other is which part of the CMS you're on to show one of the links as like this is the one
like
section
currently active.
Yes.
Okay. Actually, that makes me wonder what happens if I'm here. Is active? Well, maybe I'll just yep. Okay. That might not work in the nested menus, like the styling for the currently active.
I think it was never intended to. Just in the top menu, as
Yeah.
you look at it visually, it shows you which section of the site you're in.
Yeah, but it should be possible to make it work, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's like one of the reasons why we haven't made it official. Like, because if we want to officially support this, ideally we should make sure stuff like that works properly. Like the highlighting of the current active menu inside the submenus. But anyway, so yeah, so this is what it looks like. Okay, actually, let me use a different name for the menus so that it's not confusing. So this is yeah, so there is label and there is name, where the name is like the internal name in the code, while the label is the visible label. But if you don't define the menu name, it's going to be derived from the label. So this could be something like 2, and this could be like 1. Okay. So, why? Um, it's interesting. I'm not sure why it's also logging the other items. But I guess if you look at the state, it should be different. So this is active path. Oh, let's see. Yeah, so it actually knows that you're currently in people. So technically it should be possible to make it highlight the bakery misc inner item as well. I guess it's just that we haven't properly tested it. Okay. What about? Okay. Okay. 1 second. I'm getting confused with. So let's see what the current state is. Active path. What? Okay, navigation path, bakery next one. Okay, so I guess that's when I clicked on the second one. Okay, so active path is just the URL that matches the menu item. Like it never changes wherever you currently are in the navigation menu. Like when you switch to different menus, it will still say which menu item you currently correspond to. And the state that you actually want is the navigation path, which could change depending on which menu you're currently on. For example, if I go to settings, I think that should be, yeah, so the active path is still people, but the navigation path is now settings. Okay, yeah, so we want to use the navigation path state. Sorry, this. So yeah, so I think the path is right. Or maybe we could just use the path, right, instead of the navigation state. I'm not sure why we have these two different things. I feel like they're the same thing, no? Oh, okay, so Yeah, the path is of the item itself, whereas because as you can see here, yeah, the path here and the navigation path is different because this belongs to the component itself, whereas the navigation path is your current state in the navigation tree. But technically, we could use any of them because when you currently in here, it should be the same thing. But I guess I think I would prefer to just use the state because that's like the source of truth of where you currently are in the tree. What do you think, Thibaud?
From my perspective, I'm very surprised you go through all of this. I think I would have gone, okay, does the pull request solve the problem at hand? Yes, no.
Yeah, I mean, well, it technically solves the problem at hand, but not in a way that's like the most ideal way in terms of like the logic, because it just assumes that you want to go to the
From my
helper.
perspective, we've never supported having submenus or
Right.
submenus. So yes, your objection is relevant in the
Okay.
long term, but my view might be more like short term focused.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, I mean that's just your daily open source shenanigans. Like you might think, this is not worth digging into because I don't have time for it, and we're not officially supporting it anyway. But on the other hand, you might also think, it would be nice to just make it work anyway.
But you know what we're definitely supporting or should be supporting is closing
Yes,
submenus.
that's right. That's right.
So I think if you can find a way to make it work in your better way without the PR getting 10 times bigger,
Yeah.
by all means. If
Okay.
not, dun dun dun.
I think we should be able to do that. So I'm not sure what's happening with this TypeScript thingy, but I'll figure it out later. Oh, there's no. Do we declare the props types? Yeah. Okay. So, oh, look. Is it from the Yak or is it from? Where is it from?
Dispatch?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure ours is Redux.
It does.
Because we use an older version of React that I don't think has a... Oh, maybe it does anyway. Worth checking if it's using the hook or if it's using Redux. I think it's Redux, but yeah.
Oh, sorry.
That's how you can tell someone who doesn't have the Redux DevTools installed.
So, okay.
I'll check for you, Sage.
Okay, here it is.
Okay.
Dispatch. Main action. This. Wait, what? No, it's just our own definition. We don't even use Redux's types, apparently.
Does Redux even have types?
I don't know. I would assume so. Yeah, it does. I think. Well, maybe not. Anyway, couldn't be bothered to check. Well,
I mean, definitely you can retype it as a function that takes a string and...
Yeah.
Oh, no, sorry. It doesn't take just the action name. It takes the action. Okay.
I'll just do this.
Seems fair.
And then I'll just name it as the same thing in the state. And then we have active path here. And then we want to split it.
That's not active path you want to split though. I thought active path was the never changing path of the current.
Oh yeah, sorry. It's the navigation path, is it?
Yep, I think so.
Yep. Yeah. Thank you. See, that's why this is useful. Otherwise, I would need to spend another 5 minutes figuring out why it doesn't work.
Definitely the naming could be better here. I assume that at some point there was submenu item active true false, and hence we arrived at active path. But yeah,
It happens. I don't even know if this is correct or not. Maybe it is. It's just what Copilot spits out at me.
you're trusting the GPT.
Yes. Our AI overlords.
He said it on record. There's no basilisk coming for him.
Oh no. Okay, now we need to pass it. So to find out where this component is used, and should be able to just navigation path, state dot navigation path. And okay. There we go. And moment of truth. What? No. Why doesn't it work? 1 second. Let me try again. What? What's happening? Okay, I want to make sure this thing is actually correct. By the way, have you looked into these deprecation warnings?
I have. They should be very, very simple for us to fix.
Yeah.
I've not had the chance to raise it or actually do the fix yet, but should be simple stuff. And it's definitely good that there is a warning for this, because definitely our code will be much better with those not necessarily issues, but certainly code smells fixed.
Right. Yeah, I agree. And it's like one of those things where if you're a new contributor and you'd like to, like, well, sometimes it's hard to find good first issues, and yet there's these like low-hanging fruits that we just haven't had the time to raise it as an issue. But if you go through our installation steps for your local development environment, and you try to compile the front-end assets, and then you see this, well, in some cases, like some projects might have warnings that are just, it's just incompatibility issues, and I don't think we can solve that in a way that is worth the time. But in this case, it seems to be just a low-hanging fruit that anyone can contribute to. But yeah, we just haven't found the time to raise it as an issue, because sometimes to write down the issue, the time that it takes to do that is just the same time that it takes to fix it. But yeah, if you're looking at this and you try running the npm commands and it's still there, by all means, if you want to fix it, go ahead. We'd be very happy that you do that. Anyway, so technically this should work. It's gonna be setting the navigation path to that. Well, why is it not working then? Any ideas?
Show again the behavior.
So if I click on this, do you think it might be that we have multiple buttons here?
Seems like a strong option. Because it's using the create portal API, right?
Yeah, that's the bit that was a bit unsure of. Maybe just to see what it actually is.
I think I'd either do that or use the React DevTools.
So we have a React expert here.
Well, you have your Django debug toolbar.
Oh, I'm pretty
I have
sure.
my React DevTools.
Pretty sure I. Oh, sorry. I don't think I've installed it here, but so
Don't worry, you can do the data attributes. I am
Yeah,
not
yeah.
judging. You can do the data attributes.
thing is, I have two separate users on my Mac. One is for work and one is my personal account. And I do have React developers tools on the other one, but not here.
You are cleared. We'll accept you at the next React conference.
So, you ever been to ReactConf? Is there one?
There's definitely quite a few. I have only been to local meetups, never like big conference.
Look at that.
Look at that.
But both have this be correct. Wait, why does it do that? Oh.
That's it. Sage's attempts to support multiple submenu levels.
Oh.
You should just cut off your losses, Sage, and open an issue that says feature request support for sidebar submenus of submenus.
All right. We're so close,
Just saying.
Yeah, I don't think I don't really know how create portal works. I mean, I can assume it would just teleport the element to this parent element, but I'm not sure why it doesn't work.
And it's definitely a very likely accessibility issue that the keyboard supports moving from the sidebar navigation to that close button would be quite poor. So I could see it being a case that this is still better than not being able to close at all. But certainly this needs changes too.
Okay, I give up. So in that case, let's just let's just get stashed that.
I'm not gonna ask how big your Git stash is. It's a dangerous question at this point.
It is dangerous. Wait, is it what's the command? Okay. Oh. Okay. Just to make sure. Okay, let's rebase that. Okay. Okay, and then we do the review, which is this works well for common use cases where we only have one submenu level at max. Basically, multiple levels of submenu works, but well, you can have, but that's not something we officially support at the moment. There are some tweaks that need to be done, like such as making sure the active path styles are correct in those scenarios. If we want to support submenu nesting, this should instead set the path to the parent path instead of just the root path into string. I tried looking into this, but couldn't get it to work with by passing people. What was the code here? For some reason, that's one of my favorite phrases. For some reason, because I just don't know why. Excuse me. Okay. Yep. Okay. What about the fact that it would still create the element multiple times if you already have multiple submenus?
Yeah. Yeah. I think that would be correct if it was more of a back button within each submenu, obviously, which would probably be more correct if what you are after is to support navigation from one submenu to the other, because then the back button is where the user's focus would naturally be. Otherwise, if it's the one global button, I guess it does feel appropriate that it closes them all, though definitely it could also be appropriate with a different icon if it goes back.
Right. Yeah, good point about the icon.
How does it work on desktop? Like, how do you go back one level on desktop? You just open another one?
You open the actual parent menu, so like that.
Yeah, okay. So as far as keyboard support, that's probably not too bad. And then you go there and then you just have to, okay, yeah.
Do we think about keyboard support on mobile screens?
Yeah, definitely, because people who have the UI zoomed in, that get the mobile-sized UI on a desktop device.
Oh no, you cannot access that close button because it's at the end of the body, right?
Yeah, you can access it probably if you tab enough.
Yeah, yeah.
But we, yeah,
You have to go. Well, there it is.
But again, like right now, you can't close.
You can't
this
even close it. Yeah.
So it does feel like an improvement to me, even if we know it's flawed.
Yeah. One thing I noticed is that when you go to the second one, yeah, it's just like slightly to the right. It has this margin.
Now
I
you have
just-
to show us, Sage, what happens if there is 3 of them.
Well, it's just going to add another margin because this is, well, if you really want to, I can show you.
No.
Maybe it would either be like this or it would be even slightly further to the right. It's because of this default button plus button styling that I really hate. It's from our default buttons styles, which again, so by the way, I have this Wagtail wish list on my account for things that I'd like to get done in Wagtail, but it's just not on our priority in terms of like roadmap because these are like small to medium issues that it's just not on the priority unfortunately. So these are like things that I would try to work on if I have some free time. And one of these is just this item that I just wrote as buttons. What this is about is basically so in our Figma we have this component library for our buttons, and hopefully this is how we want our buttons to look like moving forward. But I think I'm pretty sure there are still some other parts in the new designs where it's an entirely new button that's not in this list of buttons. So yeah, and meanwhile, our current buttons implementation is just it's like let's see, the oldest. Well, this was from 6 years ago, and but yeah, I'm pretty sure that these styles have actually been around for many years, and yeah, it's just not. It doesn't map as nicely to these variants that we have. So ideally, we should just, I think, rewrite the whole button styling to be just these sets of different buttons. But yeah, that's like low priority because it's more like tech debt rather than something that you can immediately see.
Do you remember how our buttons were before parse?
Oh, I'm pretty sure
UX
it was much
unification?
worse. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
With LB's help, they spent a lot of time mapping all of our different button variations back then and refactoring the code. And it is 1,000 times better. there's certainly some room for more.
Yeah, that's good to know. But yeah, anyway, I haven't added much context to some of these items, especially ones that are like draft issues rather than like actual issues on the Wagtail repo. But technically, some of these are actually pretty small that it can be picked up by new contributors. For example, this beautiful soup usage. I don't have time to explain it, but it's just that you cannot select, so you cannot extract strings from template elements in the default beautiful soup setup. So yeah, ideally we need to customize that so that we can extract strings inside template elements, which we use a lot for front-end components that are server rendered. But anyway, yeah, this is public, by the way, so if you just want to open that, I think, yes, it is public. So feel free to have a look. Okay, let's go back to the issue with oh wait, maybe it's not just an issue with multiple levels of nesting. What if I just do that? Okay. Okay, it actually removes it, so we're good. Yeah, I was worried that the button stays around after you go back to the top level, but no, it's good. Choice. No, so I think we can handle that later. Okay. Are we happy with the rest of the implementation?
I think the area label would be better as just close, because then otherwise people who use voice recognition software will have to guess that the label is closed submenu.
Is it screen readers or voice control?
Voice control. It's an issue for all speech recognition software to some extent, but voice control on macOS particularly.
Okay. So just close. Okay. Wait. Why do I not have the same format? Oh, I guess it's because the original PR was not properly formatted. Okay, but I think this thing is still useful. Okay. Right. Okay. These things we can close in this PR, especially around nested submenu support. Okay. I think this is a worthwhile over the current situation where we cannot go back to anything at all about the devices. How to base this and make a few tweaks, and then hopefully merge it. Okay. Okay. Yes. So just amend the commit and maybe add the release notes. Log. Oh. Okay, so this is going to be in 6.4 because at this point well, how do you feel, Thibaud? I think yeah, if we are strict about
Definitely Sage.
okay.
If it was a bug in the last release, maybe.
Yes.
But at this stage.
Okay. I think this person has contributed before. Yep. Okay. Yes. So I add the release note item to the changelog.txt and then also the actual release notes. And remove this extra bit. Yeah, sometimes I do it the other way around, but it doesn't really matter. Okay. Yeah, I think that should be it. Right? Show there. Okay. Just to make sure there's no new commits on. Oh, there actually is. Maybe Matthew. Oh, who merged this? You did, or did you not? Who merged it here? You did. Yeah. So yeah, sometimes someone else has merged a PR as you work on the PR that you're reviewing. So you want to make sure that you rebase it again, like you fetch it from the current upstream and then rebase it again. And then we push to the PR branch, which is this. Then force pushing. Okay. So okay, before I merge this, let's just do one final test and make sure that my local branch is clean. Well, relatively clean because I still have those other files. Oh, sorry. Mm, okay. Yeah. And what about on Firefox? Okay. Right. Yep. And then I hate that it doesn't let you expand the window just by double clicking. Okay. Is this it? No. Where is it? Where's the responsive design thingy? There. Why is it? Oh, where's the zoom controls?
So today we have feedback for GitHub about copilots and about their pull request, metadata display. They also have feedback for the Safari team. Hopefully they use Wagtail and we'll see this stream.
But seriously, how do you zoom in other than like zooming in this way? But like, I mean, the more traditional way of zooming in. There's no way. What's this? Anyway, just do this. Okay. Yeah, seems to work. Okay. Shall I try with voiceover? Wait. Where is it? Why is it not working? Wait. What's the shortcut again?
Which one, sorry?
Voiceover?
Command F5.
It's not working for some reason. There it is. Sorry. I don't think you can hear it though.
Nope.
Well, oh, I'll just. Okay, there it is. What? 1 second. Can't hear anyone. So that's the actual button on the main menu. That's why when I click this, it closes the whole thing. But technically, if you click it, yeah. So technically, yeah. Thanks, Chiemezuo, for joining us. And see you later. Yeah, we are a bit over time, but I'm just gonna merge this after this and be done with it. But yeah, technically there are 2 elements here, which is this top level close button, and also the one that was added from the portal. And if I use tab navigation, I'm currently actually focusing on the top level close button. So if I press this, it would still close the whole thing. But if I navigate through like the whole body, where is it? I lost it. There. Then this should work. Right. Yeah, but again, this is not ideal, but it's still an improvement to what we already have before. So, okay. Yeah, just need to check with VoiceOver once again. Oh, sorry. Yeah. It says close button. Okay. Yeah, I think it's all good. Okay. Okay then. I'm gonna add a note here as well. One issue with. Wait. What about instead of? I guess it's a bit hard to do in React. I was thinking instead of putting it in the document body, portaling it somewhere closer. Like maybe the parent container of the submenu. But I'm not sure how you would do that in React without using refs, I suppose, and then passing it to this close button element.
I assume I don't think there's really a reason to use the create portal API here anyway. You could just place the element where you think it should be in the DOM in React and decide whether to render it or not based on the path dev.
Yeah, I mean it's already we're already conditionally rendering it.
Yeah, but there's no reason to render it outside of the DOM tree that's managed by React.
Yeah. Oh wait, I think they did mention something about. That's because of the Z index.
Well, I assume we could still make the Z index work,
Yeah.
even if it's inside a different panel. I'm gonna have to dash as well, Sage.
Okay. Right. Yeah, it's okay. I'll finish this and still keep the recording running because it's my session anyway. But yeah, thank you very much, Thibaud, for starting the session because yeah, and arranging this.
We're gonna do more of these or no?
I'd love to. Actually, yes. Yeah, just need to be more prepared next time. And yeah, I'm not sure if there's anything we can do in just 1 hour because we're already half an hour past. So maybe it needs to be like a 2 hour thing. But yeah, if it's just like if you can only make it for the first hour, that's completely fine.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Good to chat.
All right.
See you.
Yeah. See you.